Today we're gonna show you an interesting option of a monitoring device and security given by the TP-Link company. It is the camera IP model SC3171 with night vision infrared. This camera is a versatile and relatively economic option to have a house, its office, or any other thing or place that interests you under watch. Unlike the conventional analogical cameras, a camera IP uses an Ethernet connection to connect itself to a local area network, which allows us to have the image of video in real time in our computer. But the main advantage is that if our network has connection to internet, we can access the images of the camera from any connected computer to the internet and even a cell phone if this one is compatible. Within the box of the product, we find the camera itself, the support that includes the 3 screws to fit it to the wall. Also, we find the transformer, an Ethernet cable, the guide of installation, and other pamphlets of publicity of TP-Link and a CD with the controllers and programs included. The support of the camera is built in resistant iron, and in its base it presents 3 holes to fix it to a fixed or horizontal surface, like for example the ceiling, or vertical, like the wall. Also, it has a knob to fit the vertical inclination of the camera and allows to rotate it in its own axis. Once installed the camera and the support, we can observe its plastic construction without protection against rain and sun, reason why it is not recommendable to use it in outdoors or very humid atmosphere. In the front, we can observe the following parts. In the center, there is the connected main lens internally to the image sensor. Then we find a small ring around the central lens that serves to adjust the center of the image. It is very important to remember this, since if the image is blurred, it must be adjusted by turning this ring. Then we find 12 LEDs infrared distributed in the form of ring around the lens. These allow the visualization and recording of images in good quality in atmospheres with little light and in complete darkness, up to 10 meters in length of the installation spot of the camera. In the mid-inferior part, we find the spiral to install the support, and also in the center but a little towards the direction of the lens, there is a small hole that is the integrated microphone. In the back part, we can observe all the connectors of the model. These are an input of audio type plug to connect the microphone, an indicating LED of power, and a small button of reset, an output of audio type plug to connect a loudspeaker. This would allow us to use the camera like an audio device of 2 roots of full doublets, like for example a door speaker, or to speak to whom it is on the other side of the camera. Then we find the terminals of input and output for sensor or alarms. This allows us to connect for example a noise or magnetic sensor for a door, and to connect the siren of an alarm. Then, by programming the camera, we can activate the burst mechanism of action, for example, that given a certain situation it goes off the alarm, or it sends an email to us of warning. Next, we have a connector RJ45 for Ethernet cable with its respective LEDs indicating. This one port serves to connect the camera in it and to be able to directly transmit the information through the network or to the computer or by means of a switch. Finally, there is the connector for the fitting transformer. As regards to functions and characteristics, let's remember that this camera is a camera IP, so to be able to access its functions of configuration and live image, we must connect it to our network and access to the same through our navigator of internet to the direction IP granted by the system during the installation. Within the configuration screen, we have several options to adjust, like for example, format of video, resolution, transfer protocol, quality of the image. Also, there are other options of configurations to access the camera through other means, like for example, through another computer connected to the internet that is not of our network, through a compatible cell phone, and even through Windows Live Messenger. Another important characteristic is the system of warnings and alarms. We can configure which action must the system take in case movement is detected where there shouldn't be any, or in case the sensor that we have installed activates. Among the actions to take, we can ask the system to make a local alarm go off, to send an email with the image of the problem, or to begin to record video. In any case, our recommendation is to perform a detailed reading of all the manual to be able to see all the options of security, and in this form, to take advantage of the camera to the maximum, since it has many functions and options of configuration. The camera also includes a CD and integrated software of monitoring that allows us to have major control on certain aspects of the camera, like for example greater control on the recordings, days, and schedules of recording. This software is especially useful if we have several installed cameras IP, given that from this program we can observe each one of the cameras with a single program, and we can even observe several cameras at the same time. It also allows us to accede to recordings previously performed and to modify other aspects like the activation of events and which action to take in certain cases. In conclusion, the camera of monitoring of the company TP-Link model SC3171 is an option of important monitoring for any person who wishes to have major knowledge of what is happening in his house, its office, or in certain places of importance for the user, or in atmospheres with good illumination, very little light, or even in the total dark, thanks to the use of LED's infrared. If this option is not important for the user, there are other models with the same benefits but without LED's infrared at a considerably smaller price. Another option that TP-Links present to us for this family of cameras and is of particular interest for users with a network Wi-Fi in its house or business is the wireless cameras that have the same functionality that this model but without the use of the Ethernet cable. We clarified that this is only the Ethernet cable since the feeder must be provided in any case. In summary, the main characteristics are an excellent solution of diurnal or nocturnal monitoring, or the possibility of accessing from any computer with internet and a cell phone, the option of audio of 2 routes, full duplex, and the possibility of the installation of an additional sensor along with an alarm.